get a couple photos.
Gotcha.
Keep going.
Go ahead.
56-55, and you guys pulled away. And Caleb had 9 points after that. Some of the guys said that when the ball goes to the basket from him, it just gives them a different level of juice. Is that what you saw happen when the ball went in? Just kind of different level of juice?
I thought what gave us life was his defensive charge. That's what I thought gave us life. You know, one of the things that I've said a number of times is Caleb is a basketball player, and all of our guys are. And that is, you can make an impact in many different areas. It's not just scoring and shooting, it's distributing, it's playing defense, it's rebounding, it's team chemistry, energy and effort, enthusiasm. There's a number of ways that you can benefit a team and allow us to be the best that we can be. But I mean, it was nice that he, from an offensive standpoint, he made some shots down the stretch. But to me, I thought the biggest play in the game was his defensive charge that he took late in the second half.
Do you ever talk to Caleb about confidence or keeping his head up? Or
I do. I did. I talked to him yesterday. And I told him that I talked to him through my own experience. I told him one time in the NBA, I struggled to shoot the ball for an entire month. And I said that, I'd always felt like if I missed 10, I was going to make the next 10. And one of the things that I did was I went through a checklist. One of the things that I looked at was there anything, wrong in terms of fundamentally with my shot. I told him that at times my elbow would come out a little bit too much, or my guide hand, thumb would be on the ball a little bit too much. And I said, looking at your shot, and when he was shooting the last couple of days, I just said, to me, it just seemed just a smidge flat, just a little bit. So I said, just think about getting a little bit more arc on there. And I told him about the importance of continuing to shoot and continuing to shoot good shots. And then I told him about making impact plays in different areas. When I struggled to shoot the ball, then I thought more about, let me get some extra rebounds, let me make some more hustle plays, let me get more, and take my mind off of, I've got the ball, I've got to make this shot. And it just puts you in a position to get out of whatever lack of rhythm that you have on the shooting end. I just told him that I'm proud of him and just continue to play. And so we had that discussion yesterday.
What did you think about the return of Pete to the lineup? And it sounded like he'd been trending in a good direction the last couple of days, able to practice and things like that. Just what were your thoughts on him being back?
No, it was great. We need Pete, and he's another big that can do a number of things out there on the floor and on both ends. And so I was very happy that he was back in the lineup. The disappointing thing was Jalen. He twisted his ankle in shoot-around. And I told the guys, there's some things that, as a player, that I've never experienced. I said, I've never experienced, coming out of my shoe when I was, during practice or during play. I wasn't the most athletic or fast guy, but I did tie my shoes. I never stepped out of bounds. And our guys practice and they step out of bounds. I never turned the ball over and shoot around when there was no defense. And I've never seen somebody get hurt in shoot around. And so I just, it was just a freak accident of him stepping on someone's foot and him twisting his ankle. And I just love the way that I just was really excited about having Pete back alongside Armando and Jalen. And so I was happy, and I was also disappointed from the standpoint that Jalen could not play tonight.
Friendly fire is an issue. DeMarco on Bo May,
Yeah.
it keeps happening.
Gotta change practice or do something, or have helmets or whatever. It's just
Keeping Doug busy.
Huh?
Keeping Doug busy.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Hubert, you guys made 10 threes for just the third time this season.
Yeah, but we
do
took
you feel
29 shots. I didn't like it. It's too much. I don't mind shooting threes, but I thought we settled for threes. And because we settled for threes, you don't shoot a very good percentage, and because you settle for threes, you don't attack the basket. Because you settle for threes, you don't attack a basket, and you don't get fouled, and you don't get to the free throw line, which is a strength for us. And when you settle for threes, that's when you don't draw defenses in, and then that cuts down your assists. And so we only have 8 assists tonight. And so it trickles down when we settle for the three, and that's something that I'll address. I already have addressed, and I will talk to the team tomorrow leading up to our game on Saturday, that we got to get back to attacking the basket, and we got to get back to making the extra pass.
We talk about Baycott so much over the years, but great performance tonight, double-double in the first half. I mean, do you have any adjectives left to just describe, what he's doing out there, how special it is?
No, it is. I mean, he's just not a normal player. He's just, it's hard to describe just how valuable and how great he is as a player, as someone to coach. One of the things as a coach is that you really, really want is you want, like when you go to practice and you go to games, you want consistency. And you want to have a feeling, whether it's from an individual or a team, that you know what you're going to get from them. It's a great feeling as a coach, not having to guess, is this guy going to play well? Is this group going to play well? Are we going to play hard? With Armando, there's no guesswork. You know exactly what you're going to get every practice, every game, and what he's doing statistically is just unbelievable. I'm so proud of him and just having another incredible season.
When did that consistency start? Was it last year, middle last year?
Last year,
Yeah.
really last year. I think probably that Virginia game at home. That's when the light came on. He was like, I think I can be pretty good. And that consistency came. And I think this year it came after he sat out the Virginia Tech game. He's a different player since he's come back. The games prior to the Virginia Tech game, there was only one half where I felt like Armando was Armando, and that was in the second half of the College of Charleston. And now since he's come back, he's been that way consistently moving forward. And so I think last year was that time when we played Virginia at home, and I think this year, that game that he sat out because of injury against Virginia Tech, and when he came back, I think that's when he's even locked in even more.
He said tonight that he's still in a little bit of pain from the injury at UVA last week.
He twisted his ankle badly.
He said he wasn't even sure if he would play the next couple of games, but he has double-doubles in the first half of both games. Can you kind of describe his inner burn and how unique it is?
Well, it is, especially, he's throughout his career, he's twisted his ankle and he just always comes back. And he's somebody that, doesn't want to miss an opportunity to practice, doesn't want to miss an opportunity to play. And, specifically, he said in the game against Louisville, like, he wasn't sure that morning, but he just had a burning desire to help out the team. And that's what you want. You want 18 guys that are thinking we and more instead of, or more of me. And Armando is that type of player that is always thinking about we, how can I take care of the team, how can I help? And he's not there's many ways to lead. He's not a guy that, more like a vocal leader, but by example, he is our best leader on the team. It's not even close.
Take two more if there are two.
Hey, Coach. So obviously the main story from today's game is Armando ties the double-double record set by Gully Cunningham. But, through that process, he moved up his all-time scoring list, and the latest name he passed was yourself. So, number one, how does that make you feel? And two, what does that say about, Armando's career in Carolina Blue?
Well, coming from Coach Smith and Coach Guthridge, where they took out the team stats out of the Daily Tar Heel, and we weren't allowed to have stat sheets in the locker room. I just was always taught that stats don't mean anything, and it continued all the way throughout the NBA. And the only time that I ever looked at a stat sheet occasionally was to look at how many threes I took. I didn't want to take more than 50% unless I was hot, and so I just wanted to have a diversity in terms of the shots that I want. And so I think that's great that Armando's moving up in rebounds and points. And as a coach, you want your players to be better than you. I mean, that's awesome. So I don't put a lot of stock in stats and positions of points scored. I just the biggest impact that Armando is making is the impact that he's making on the floor, and also the impact that he's making that he's been here for 4 years. I think he's somebody that easily could have left and tried and gone to the NBA, but because of his love and his passion for this place and for this community and for this university, he's wanted to be here and stay here. And that's the thing that sticks out to me. That's great. I know the stats are awesome, but his commitment to this university and this program, to me, that's what stands out.
Take one more. He also passed Mitch Kupchak tonight, which is pretty good too.
And Mr. Kupchak was in here, so he passed up 2 people here.
Anybody else? All right, we'll see you on Friday and